it was always a thing for us to get your hair cut a certain kind of way, a certain kind of length, whether it was military, whether it was church. It was a reflection of our culture. The problem with culture is corporate America doesn't value culture. Yo, 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 yo.
Hello, hello. What up,
What's
coworkers?
up, coworkers? We outside after work podcast.
Yes, guys. And we have been gone for 2 weeks and we are deeply sorry, but life be life, and
Life be
so
life.
we are trying. So yeah, let's do a quick little check-in. It's been 2 weeks and then we'll jump
It's
into
been 1 week since I looked at you. You know that song?
yeah. That's from like
It's a good song.
the 2000s, right?
It's like a really great white people song. What's
I
your
don't,
favorite white
I
people
don't
song?
really know white people's song. No, I'm lying. So my favorite white, I have two.
Okay.
So my first one it's the Laguna Beach theme song.
I don't know that.
I don't
You gotta
remember.
sing it.
I don't remember how it went. And then there's another one. It's like, girl now. I think it's Fergie. Is that
Cause
Fergie?
big girls don't cry.
Yeah, I love that song. So okay, maybe it's three. So the other one is
Mariah Carey.
she's biracial. Chill
Oh,
out.
my bad. My bad.
I go hard for Mariah Carey. So
I know. I
chill.
thought she was white.
She's half white. But the other one is Kelly Clarkson because I sung it at I think it was my fifth grade graduation.
You sang Since You've Been Gone at your fifth grade
Mhm.
graduation.
I
Why?
went to I went to a white middle school, elementary school.
But why would you sing that song? Like you couldn't sing a different
I
song?
didn't make the playlist for graduation, but that's how I always remember that song because I had to sing it at graduation in fifth grade.
Well, I got a song that we used to sing from Titanic. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. That's
Oh,
like
my grandma lives for Celine
grandma,
Dion.
you know what it
And my
is.
aunt. Yeah, they got all her CDs, like first CDs.
Yeah, that's Canada's second greatest export. You feel me? After Drake, I think Celine Dion's from Canada, and then Bon Jovi. Shout out to Jersey, Living on a Prayer. That's my shit. That's my white people. Yo, when you get me around white people and they start living on a prayer or they start
Listen,
Sweet Caroline,
I got a recent white person song that I really like. I blast this in my car, and I'm surprised that I do this because number one, it's a country song.
okay.
I don't even listen to country, but I heard this on Pandora because Pandora will randomly play music, and then I'll
Hmm.
be like, "Oh, who's this artist?" So they randomly played this song. It is called. It's this new artist. His name is Austin something. Let me see. While I look this up, what's your check-in? Give us your check-in.
Hold on, because I got to give a shout out to a current white artist too, Benson Boone. You ever heard of Benson Boone?
Nope.
He'd be like, "Go, stay, I want you, I need you right now." That is my shit. He did it on the VMAs last year. I
Hmm.
was hooked. Shout out to Benson Boone, my favorite new white artist. But my check-in, I don't even think you checked in,
Oh
honestly.
wait, before you do your check-in, I found it. So it's by Austin
Jelly Roll.
Williams. The song is Coming Home To. Put this in your playlist when you drive in. Like the bass goes crazy for the song. And it has like a hip hop kind of undertone.
Oh, okay. Is it a bass or a banjo? It's country.
It's country, but it sounds like hip hop. It's like that crossover version that
Oh, so it's gentrification. Got it.
yeah, like Moneybagg Yo, he recently did it
What?
with a country artist, but it's given like crossover, like hip hop country vibe. But he's
Nelly
white.
done did this already.
Yeah, but coming from like a white person to Joy, for me, I was like, this is different. So if you want to be put on to something that like is country but hip hop at the same time, this song Coming Home To Austin Williams. You're welcome.
Shout out to Austin Williams. But my check-in is I don't know about you, Dana, but summer's right around the corner and your boy trying to get right. You feel me? I've been in the at-home gym. I ain't outside in the gym. I'm in the at-home gym. And
Hmm.
I'm getting right. You know, I had COVID in September and I lost a lot of weight. And what it made me realize is I still got like a frame though. I'm still a little heavy, but I just don't have no like muscle with it. Like it's just like I'm
Just
just there.
hanging,
So now
just
I'm just trying to
like,
tone it up. You feel me?
yeah,
Like put a little 6 pack on it. You know, get sexy, get naked real quick. You know how it goes. But I'm just trying to get right. You know, so um, just really focusing on bettering myself
love
mentally,
that.
physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, all of that.
Everything all
What's up with you?
around. So I know what you're talking about as far as just things hanging and feeling just, not your physical self. So I was on that journey. I'm still on that journey, but I think I'm closer to my goal of just maintaining. So going to the gym, doing a home workout, all of that counts. For me, I would say I do want to mention what I was kind of dragging along these past, you know, few episodes. So I did get a new job. So shout out to me
Shout out to you.
because
I peeped.
the process of this was obnoxious. I'm not gonna lie. It was across 2 months, about 3 to 4 interviews in total. And just like the mental strain it took on my mental health just to keep going. Like this was what I was insinuating when I kept talking about, keep going, keep pushing until you get to what God has intended for you. So for me, it was this new job that I do have. I don't want to say the name just because I don't like people knowing where exactly I work, just for like my personal preference. So yeah, I'm just like very, very happy that I was able to do this at the top of the year. And now it is going to allow me to do the things that I want to do for the rest of the year and like forward. So I do know for me, corporate has always been a stepping stone to that entrepreneurial lifestyle that I know I will eventually live in. So right now I'm just enjoying the journey and just enjoying this moment. And these past few weeks specifically have just been very exciting and definitely making me feel like the work that I've put in has paid off. So
And you deserve it. You
I
know,
deserve it.
you
And I'm going to
deserve
say
it.
I deserve it.
You
Yeah.
worked hard.
Hmm.
And to piggyback off of what you deserve, you also earned it, right? You not just somebody that just walked into wherever you walked into
At all.
as no DEI. No, you
Yeah.
about that shit. Like you've been about it and you show it every single time you in them spaces. So, they can't keep doubting you. They can't keep trying to hold you down. You are an achiever, not an overachiever, not an underachiever. You are an achiever. So shout
A
out to you.
cheaper. Yes.
Super
Let's take a
proud of
sip
you.
of that. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. What you drinking?
Some muscatel.
Oh, I'm
I'm
drinking
drinking some Moscato.
cheers.
I gotta keep my calories low. I've been in the gym. Y'all want to see my abs?
First of all, Moscato has hella sugar
I
in
don't look up that shit.
it.
I
I
don't
do.
know.
But all right, let's
Let's
jump
break
into
some ice.
episode, break some ice. What's the first icebreaker question?
We was actually on. Well, I was actually on Kayla's Instagram, friend of the pod, and she had a really interesting question. And for the married folks out there, I was curious: what happens if someone proposes at your wedding without your permission? Dana, how would you feel?
Well, I'm not married. If I was married, I would feel away.
Do tell.
Now, it depends on if it is a male friend or a female friend that is getting proposed to at my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So the male friend, because the man in particular, like usually they're the ones planning the proposal, right? Like they're planning how they want to do it, the scenery, if there's gonna be family and friends or more intimate where it's just them two. So with that taken into consideration and you're the guy and you decide to be at somebody else's wedding reception where someone is celebrating their love and you as my friend decide to do it at my wedding, I'm gonna have to rethink our friendship.
Oh,
And then as far as like for the girl, um I wouldn't be that upset only because, like I just said, the man is the one that is usually planning all of this. So she may think like I had no idea and this was by surprise. So I'm sorry, but this is when he chose to propose to me when everybody was in one setting. I would be upset, but I think I'd be more upset if the guy was my friend than the girl.
Everybody getting stomped out. Fuck all that.
Mm.
What do you think that you're doing in this moment? This is my wedding. You know how much a wedding costs?
Oh,
This is
damn.
tens of thousands of dollars. And you going to take this opportunity to not even ask me, to
I
not even
think
have
it's
the decency.
selfish. I think it's definitely selfish.
I don't even think selfish is enough to describe the level of disrespect, right? Dana, you're big on respect. How hard is it to be like, yo, Dana,
I
Aaron,
am.
I really love my lady and I would like to propose to her. All right, cool, bro. When you going to propose to her? I know we both going to be at your wedding and it's all about love. So can I propose to her there? Okay, bro, that sounds amazing, but no.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
I'm gonna say no. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, sure, of course. I'm just saying if they did it in the spur of the moment, that's how I would think about
ain't no
why.
such thing as
But
a
if
spur of
you
the moment
but if
proposal
you asked me specific, like why would you ask me to propose to somebody else at my wedding?
because people are
That is
idiots.
that is hella disrespectful for sure.
But it's all good because they'll lose a friend and they ain't have to worry about my wedding the next time. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be another wedding, but
Shouldn't be another one. All right, let's keep it going. So then the next question is for you.
hmm
Would you be upset if your current partner kept in contact with a previous partner's child that he or she helped raise? When should that connection end, if at all?
ooh, spicy.
That is spicy.
Um, would I be upset? No. I feel like as a man, if a woman has a connection with the child, it's due to the reality that she's a nurturer naturally, right? It's
Mhm.
like if a couple breaks up and they have a dog together. That dog ain't either one of y'all dog, but it's your
I
dog.
stopped, I stopped talking to somebody because of that.
Yeah, but that's how special that connection could be, right? So it's like I don't want to just lose someone or something that I've held so near and dear to. That
Mhm.
had nothing to do with our parting of ways, our breakup, whatever the case may be. Um, if you keep it a secret, that might be a little bit of a problem because why are you like
That is a
withholding
red
this
flag.
information? But at the same time, it's like I dated a girl in high school. Yeah, she had a kid in high school. That's beside the point. Johnstown, Pennsylvania is a crazy ass place. Don't judge me.
Sips tea.
But she had a kid in high school, and I used to go over there. You know, I'm trying to be her man. You know, I'm
Being fast.
17. Yeah, I'm 17, trying to step up.
Yeah.
You feel me? Um, and I think her daughter's like 20 now. That was a long ass time ago.
20.
But
How
yeah,
old?
so I was
What's she?
17. She
You
was
only
she's
about
18.
what? She's probably like 38
Yeah,
now.
about that was 19, 20 years ago. Shit, this is a minute ago. Um, but it's like I would hold on to that connection if we had a connection. Um, but we didn't really have one, so it is what it is. But I'll never forget Jaden, and I don't know if his mama want me to tell the story, but fuck it, we here now. Um, she had a man or whatnot, and they ended up breaking up. And Jaden was so distraught because he was like, well, he took the PlayStation. So it was like, you fucking up these kids because now all of a sudden they're not going to trust nobody. Because once you leave out of their life and you built that deep connection, now this nigga's gone or this woman's gone. And I don't want
Mhm.
nobody else to break mommy's heart or break my heart.
And that's another reason why I don't date men with kids because I know me. Like it has nothing to do with
I
you.
ain't never seen you with no kids.
Kids love me, okay? Like my cousin who has 5 children under 10, well, 4 under
Shout out
10.
to goddess.
He just turned 16 last Saturday. Shout out to Gabriel. But all of her kids, like little kids, gravitate towards me because I'm literally the person that's like, I'm looking up your favorite video on my phone. You could play games on my phone. Like we coloring, drawing, all of that. Like we having a great time. So if I date a man with a child and things eventually get serious And I don't know, like I haven't dated a guy with a child in years, but for the most part, they do be quick to introduce me to to their kid. Like I've
Mhm.
experienced that before. So I don't want to get too attached now in my grown age and just knowing like how dating is not how it was when I was in my 20s. Like people are looking more today to, I don't even want to say settle down. They're just looking to just have those connections with people, right?
Mhm.
So for me, like I don't want to meet your kid. I don't want to build that connection because ultimately I know I don't want to date someone with a child because there will become a point where I know this isn't what I want 100%, so I'm not going to take this serious. So then just knowing that you will have to break that bond with the child, I don't think I could keep in contact with a person's child. I think it'd be different if I helped raise them, but if it was just like your kid was around when we dated a little bit, it was a short time, then okay, great. But if
Mhm.
it's like from a baby to now they're like 7 years old, like that seems pretty intense for me. So that would be a very hard thing to break
Mhm.
up just because I stopped dating you. So
Sure.
I don't know, but I just prefer not to put myself in that predicament because of how many things can happen.
I know one of my exes. She actually was with a guy for probably like 10 years, maybe more than that. It might have been 15 years. Like since we broke up, they was together, and that's essentially her child. Like she's been there every step of the way. She done seen birthday parties,
Mm-hmm.
first tooth, first breakup, baseball games, basketball games, you name it. So it's like she can't just disregard essentially raising a child. Now, if
Yeah.
it was a couple years or something, like you could let that shit go. Like he'll get a new mommy. So,
Yeah. They always find somebody.
and if they don't,
Women love them.
FTK.
Wait, we got one more icebreaker, or you just want to get into the main
It's up
topics?
to you. I'm cool with the icebreakers.
I don't even know how long we. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can do the last icebreaker. So it is. What is the most embarrassing fashion emergency you've had, or what is the most embarrassing fashion item in your closet? So when I read this, I instantly thought about when I was in sixth grade.
Mm,
Why'd you do that face? You thinking of something?
I know what I'm gonna say.
Okay. I thought it was something else. Okay. So in sixth grade, right, you are about maybe
Well,
like, yeah,
11.
12, 11, 13. If you got left back, something around that age. And I just remember because this was the time where I actually got my period, was when I was in sixth grade. And a lot of other girls got their period around that time too.
Mm,
So it was just like a thing where walking the halls, you would always see a little red
r-
spot
oh no, I'm so
on the
sorry.
girls' pants, like their jeans. And, whenever I saw that, I did make it a point to like tell the girl or whatever, like, hey, you got a spot, so change your jeans. Hold on. So go ahead. What's your question?
Y'all don't know that is happening.
No, you don't know. You
I,
don't
I'm,
know.
I'm, I'm,
When you
I'm,
get older, you understand your body and like different feelings, like as you're a grown adult. But when you
I got
first get your period as like a child, like you're literally a preteen. You don't know what's going on, when to
you. Still.
change things, stuff like that. So I just remember I always would see girls with that. And I was just like, I was kind of like anticipating it happening to me because that's just what I saw all the time. And lo and behold, one day that happened to me when I was in sixth grade. So that was the most embarrassing thing that happened to me. And I always carried like a sweatshirt because it
Mhm.
was always cold in schools. So I just wrapped it around my waist for the day. And that was it.
Well, to all the children out there that's gonna go through these pretty traumatic experiences,
There's no
we
children listening to this podcast.
they might listen to this 20 years from now and relate to it. Um, we are here for you. We will support you through whatever endeavors you are going through in your adolescence or your prepubescence, I
No,
guess.
I want to direct it towards the parents, okay?
Okay.
If you have a preteen daughter who is going to get her menstrual cycle, please teach her the basics of wearing a pad, when to change a pad,
You
and
don't just leave
also
that shit on all
feelings
day.
and things to look for. Huh?
You don't just leave that shit on all day.
God, no. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain time frame you leave it on, depending if it's your first few days, you leave it on shorter because you have a heavier flow. And
Okay.
then the longer the days go in, depending on how long you have your menstrual cycle, then you wear it at a shorter time, thinner, sometimes a liner. It's a whole
Mm.
thing to it. Women know. So I'm just saying, as a woman, and maybe if you're just a father raising a daughter, like, do your due diligence to learn this to help your child so they don't got to deal with this moment in their lives because it sucks and it's embarrassing.
Well, since it was a two-part question, I'll go the opposite way. Instead of an embarrassing moment, something embarrassing in my closet. Um, I actually had like a man thong in my closet.
Ew. You wear it?
I've worn it. Obviously, it was in my closet. So, but there's a story
What
behind it.
possess you? Okay, let me hear the
It
story.
was a story behind it. So, my homegirl was turning 25 years old, and she was like, "Yo, I want somebody to like dance at my party. Would you do it?" So I'm like, I ain't a fucking stripper. Like my mother told
You
me
see
when I
my
was in high
face? Let
school.
me fix my face. Hold on. I
My
look
mother told me in
crazy.
high school. She told me in high school, like, don't be a male stripper because most of the male strippers is gay. Because I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a stripper. She was like,
That
nah,
is
don't
a
do that.
fact.
So when Shorty told me that, I was like, I'm good on that. So I went and told my girlfriend at the time because it's always a girl in my stories. She was like, listen, it's nothing wrong with you doing it if it's a private party. I support you if you want to go get this money. So I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. So she worked at Jägermeister.
Hooters? Oh.
No, she worked at Jägermeister. She was one of the bottle girls that would go to the club and she would just pass out shots and shit. For whatever reason, she had a Jägermeister thong. I don't
And
know why.
your size.
In my size. In my size. It was in the package. She went to the storage unit to pick it up. We literally went together. So she was like, listen, if you're going to do it, I'm going to need you to do it. Like, you can't be out here representing me incorrectly. Like, you got to show me your moves. You got to, like, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Shout out to your girl for like having that much confidence in
Yeah.
you.
I ain't
Because
had
your
that much confidence in my
ex
damn
is
self.
clearly you're not together no
Nah,
more.
she cool people. Shout out to Ruthie.
Mm.
Um, Anywho, I put it on. Now, first off, one thing about thongs, it's not really the most comfortable thing in the
I
world
don't
if
wear
you know how a thong feel.
that. They're not. Even as
No,
a
yeah. But see, I thought that if you put it on, it would just like look a certain way. But it didn't look and feel a certain way. It was loose in a lot of places and just
was it a
not.
meltdown?
Yes,
Oh.
it didn't have. It just fit really weird. And then I didn't realize that strippers suppress themselves. So
I don't need to
I'm
know the
over.
details of the story.
I was just saying, I gotta keep it real.
Oh,
I'm
God.
over here unsuppressed. So what ends up happening is it's like it's not. It just wasn't it. So I said, look, I'm not going to do this party. I don't think that I know how
So
to
all of
properly.
that, you don't even go perform at
I
the.
get it, but I kept it. So one time, we'll say that for the Patreon episode. We'll let the people hear
We
that
had
story.
we had enough about your thong stories.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, let's get into the main topics. I don't know why I put this as a main topic.
Because you was excited.
I was excited because now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, why is this not as like a random icebreaker?
But the crazy thing is, you posted it today. So
I know. We can expound on it though, I feel like. Right?
yeah,
Okay. So, guys, the question or the topic is it is okay to look attractive in your work ID. Okay. If you follow me on Instagram, I actually got like over 200 views on this story, which I thought was kind of crazy because I'm like, why is everybody looking at my work ID?
because you posted it.
I don't get views like that on a regular. Like my views usually range around like 50. So it was just random.
I can't
Anyway,
speak for you.
yeah, so like normally though with a work ID, it's ugly. Like your work ID is not attractive. Every job that I've had with the IDs, like I did not care how it looked. I'm like, ain't nobody really looking at this. And also too, I'm not gonna hold you talking about suppressing, right? Like in my work ID, I tried to look as unattractive as possible.
Wow.
Like that was actually something I was very conscious of for my previous jobs
Do you feel like
because
people? Go ahead.
I've just experienced different reactions when I'm on like a video with a vendor that I'm working with. And you could tell they're trying to be like flirtatious and they notice, oh, it's a girl on here. She's attractive. So let me like up my just like my sarcasm, my like just doing the most. And I'm just on the call like, yo, like let's just get this project over with. Let's do this application upgrade and keep it going. So for me, like I'll usually not have a picture for my team's picture, or I'll make sure that it's like me, turtleneck, glasses, no makeup, like hair in a ponytail, like looking real. Like I don't do too much,
Mm.
like this, and this is me on a chill day. So for my new job, I'm like,
Fuck
no,
all
I'm not gonna do that. Exactly. I'm like, I'm going to submit my best job appropriate picture for my ID because when I look at it, it's like I want to be proud of this job that I got
that.
and like I want to look cute. Like why the fuck not? So that's what I did. Like I took a picture from Instagram, cropped out the background, sent it to HR, and then they didn't have an issue with it. So what do you think about being cute in your work ID?
So for the most part, I haven't had like work IDs in a really long time, but we would have work day profiles, emails, and then we
Hmm.
would always put our faces on our emails so they know who they're talking to and whatnot. And if you ever like search somebody, especially at Target, if you search them, you would be able to see everyone's faces through their emails. And then my LinkedIn profile, right? So it's like all three of these
Can we talk
things.
about LinkedIn? I know it's not on the
Wait,
outline, but when you're done, we need to have a deep dive on LinkedIn, like that.
okay. But all these things, I always wanted to first represent myself, right? You don't want to come off being a picture like this and shit. Like, what's good, nigga? Like, nah, you don't want
It's
to do
not appropriate. They will like
that,
tag
right?
that and tell
You
you
don't want to be drinking. You don't want to be in a club. You want to be in a as close to a work or family setting as possible. So that way, especially as a black man, and I can't speak for you as a black woman, but as a black man, you want to give off as much docility as possible because
suppress your
yeah,
personality.
you
Yeah,
you want people to be able to feel comfortable. Like, oh, he seems like a well-to-do guy. But if I got tattoos on my face, and granted, I don't think there's anything wrong with
but
that.
that's extreme though. The tattoos on your face, like the way you look right now
Mhm.
in your Nike shirt, headband.
I would
Would
never take a picture like that
why not?
because I look too relaxed. I don't look work ready. I don't look professional. I don't look like somebody that's about to get this job done. Meanwhile, if I put a suit on, if I have a hammer in my hand and I'm trying to get a construction job, then I look like somebody ready for that job.
Exactly. Okay.
Now, I believe we've had this conversation on this podcast, or maybe we haven't, about being dressed for success and if we're going on an interview and all these kind of things. I don't actually believe in that, but I believe in it. You
I
get what I'm
believe
saying?
it.
Like
1,000%.
I believe that the people that I'm being attracted to for a job or for interest are attracted to that. Would that matter to me? No. But unfortunately, society doesn't revolve around what Aaron or what Dana wants. So sometimes you got to make smart decisions. And having a work ID that you're not the sexiest person in the whole goddamn world is probably a good idea.
You don't have to
Because,
be sexy though. Like in the
yeah, but
work I see,
you can be cute naturally because
you
people
can
are attracted.
naturally be cute, but because in the tech space specifically, because that's
Mm-hmm.
my environment. In the tech space, even like showing neck like this, I don't even show neck most times when I'm working. Like I'm usually Buttoned up shirt, turtleneck. Like, I don't want you to see no type of skin because I don't want you to get any type of like, thoughts as we're having these serious work conversations. And then knowing, like how the regular person that I'm working with looks, like all these features that I have, like I can be like sexualized. Like, I know
Hmm.
that for a fact. And then as far as the interviews go, when you were talking about dressing for success, the reason why I said it is a real thing is because when it came to remote interviews, because all the interviews that I had were remote. Like, a lot of them nowadays, they're not in person in my specific industry. So I always made it a point to always have a blazer on
Hmm.
for these interviews, because that one blazer, it does come off as like leadership, very like, demanding, knows how to control a room, and like all those adjectives explain what a blazer gives off. You know what I mean? So I do feel like that played another part as to why, I got this particular job, because of the look that I gave. So as much as people may want to deny it and like, yeah, it shouldn't be about looks, like looks are probably, I want to say like 50% of you getting that job. And then your knowledge, depending on like what they're looking for as well. So,
Before we get into LinkedIn, because I know we want to talk about that, I do have a story about looks. And I don't know, again, we talked a lot on this podcast, but my brother, he was on the podcast before.
mhm.
And him and his girl, ex girl, I don't know what their situation is. I'm sorry. Um, he was trying to get her a job. So he suggested, Aaron, hey, get her an interview. Because I was a manager. So I'm like, all right, I don't really want to hire her, but whatever. Like, I'll do it for you.
Mhm.
So I end up interviewing like a 50-year-old Mexican woman. And she was about 30 something at the time. Very similar complexion to you. Just very similar, like, aesthetic. You get what I'm saying?
No. Go ahead.
Anywho, so we're doing an interview now. It's three men, two of them and myself, and we're going through the candidates. Now, I fuck with Nisha Heavy. That's her name. She was bullshitting through the interview. I know she was bullshitting because I know her personally, but she was bullshitting. She was on some straight up making shit up, right?
Mhm.
And then this other woman, again, she was older, but she literally was everything that I wasn't, which is what you need as a partner. Like, she was going to be my assistant manager. So I'm like, damn, it's hard to say no to that. Like, she's organized. I'm a little disorganized. She's this, she's that. I'm not. I'm like, cool. I could teach her the sales part. Cool.
Mhm.
So the two guys, they come to me and they're like, all right, Aaron, what do you think? How do you feel? And I expressed to them just like that. I'm like, listen, I don't want to make a decision because it's not up to me. But if you wanted my opinion on the matter, here's the pros and cons for both of them. So when they start talking about it, there's like, yeah, this woman, she's an older woman. She's probably stuck in her ways. It's going to be hard to teach her. On the other hand, Nisha, she's young, she's smart. I can
Mhm.
kind of mold her because she doesn't really have the experience. And then they hit me with this. On top of that, she's a smoke show. Did you see her? Wow, she's so hot.
Ew.
I'm like, first off,
They be talking like that?
they talk like that in front of me. So my biggest thing was, I'm not going to knock her for not knowing that men were groveling at her just to
Mhm.
give her a job, right? Do what you got to do. Take whatever advantage you want to get in life if people going to be dickheads to, get you where you need to go. I understand that. But I just felt so disgusting for her. Like, I didn't even tell her this. I don't think
Mhm.
to this day she know about this because, I felt that was fucked up. Like,
And
granted, they give her the job, but it's like, that's fucked up.
that goes into why I was saying, like, most times for my work email, like you said, all of that is tied together with your work ID, the email, the workday
Hmm.
picture, like how you're on the organization chart, and then they have your picture there too. Like, everyone in the company can see it. So I do think I kind of felt like I was dimming down who I was
Hmm.
as a person to be comfortable looking for whoever's looking at this. And I didn't like that. I'm like, I don't want to do that this time around. Like, I want to look comfortable in pictures that I like, and nothing is inappropriate. Like, I'm still
Mhm.
turtleneck up to my chin, but my face, like, I don't got my glasses on. I got my hair done. I got like my baby hairs done. Still looking professional, but I like that picture. And if like other people see it, and I may get, I notice too, like, I do tend to get like more comments and like messaging on Teams because they're like, oh, I just want to introduce myself to you, XYZ. Great, cool. But ultimately, don't dim down who you are as a person to just fit in the mold. Like, you can fit in the mold where you get the job and like you are able to do the tasks necessary. But as far as your looks wise, because I remember one of my ex friends, we're not friends anymore. It's a whole story. And I want to talk about it too, because I feel away. Like, I really feel away about the situation. Um, because we were really good friends, and the reason he cut me off was because of his. I feel like it's because of his current wife,
Mm.
and that's
Mm.
all I'm gonna say. Because I do think he may listen to the podcast. We were having a conversation. This was like 2 jobs ago, and he was my manager's manager at the time, and he grew out his hair similar to yours. It was probably a little longer, just because of
Let's shrink
COVID.
it.
Okay. Yeah. It's probably the same length. Yours is probably longer.
Thank you.
Anyway, so he grew out his hair because of COVID. He was a black guy. So, like, that was one of the things that black men did during COVID. It was just like grow the hair out. He was one of those. So his aspirations were to become like CIO of a company, like to lead the IT teams and be global, all these things, right? Climb the corporate ladder. And one day he came into work and he cut his hair off. Like,
Hmm.
everything was like very clean cut. And he was like, yeah, I thought about it. And any black person you see at those high levels, like, they do have a certain look. Like, they have that clean cut, low hair look. And that's like what I want to present so that when I am applying for these high position roles, I fit the book as well. And I always felt the way about that because I'm like, you are really trying to fit into these social norms and not embrace how you look because you will be judged and may not get that high position based off your hair. And
Hmm.
I just thought that was fucking crazy. But it is true. Like, that is society that we live in. But like, for me, I'm okay with doing it to a certain extent. Like, I'm not cutting my hair. I'm not doing something super drastic that changes my look to where now I'm truly trying to fit into that mold in order to be accepted at these higher positions.
I think, especially as men, from a history perspective, it was always a thing for us to get your hair cut a certain kind of way, a certain kind of length, whether it's military, whether it was church, whether it was just as a man. Like, we were always taught to do things a certain kind of way. Um, Over the last, I would say 20, 30 years, we probably got a little bit more creative. We got a little bit more individualized. We stopped allowing social norms to dictate how we are to do things, right? From the cornrows and the locks, um, box fades, different things like that. Like, it was a reflection of our culture. The problem with culture is corporate America doesn't value culture. And when they did value culture, unfortunately, that's not the times right now.
Hmm.
Um, would it make a difference if a lot of black men cut their hair? Probably not. Because at the end of the day, aptitude is the most important part of your attitude. Like, if you're able to do it and you're able to come in there with a smile on your face and be a great asset to the team, I really don't give a fuck what you look like. Nor should anybody. Now, can they? Do they have prejudices? Of course. Um, but if their prejudices are going to keep you from ascending to the level that you want to ascend to, that means you're in the wrong rooms.
That's what I was thinking. 1,000%.
Like, get to where you need to go.
And just the way he conformed for that marriage,
Hmm.
sips more tea. Um,
People do it all the time.
but yeah, I was just like, and people do it all the time,
Hmm.
but when that happens and I know someone close who does it, I just always think about, and I know everyone's on their own journey. We're living our own lives, and things are going to look different for everybody. But I do feel like you don't really understand who you are as a person. So you're so easily swayed. Like you're so easily swayed by trying to fit into groups that you don't fit into. Like you are a triangle trying to fit into a circle. So for me, I sometimes feel sad about that because it's like I know this is going to change you even more from possibly who you are at the core.
Hmm.
But because you haven't really done that level of just like self work, like understanding different parts about yourself, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, things that you're not willing to diminish. So
Hmm.
your integrity, your morals, your values, like you're so easily swayed to the point where it's like if you have to look and act a certain way to get it, then you're going to do that. And usually the higher you go, the more you have to do that. So with his situation in particular, I just noticed it in different parts of his life. So where it was like, I can understand why you're gravitating further from me because I am someone who like I know who I am, and when I see that in a friend, like I'm going to ask you questions like are you okay? Like how are things? Just to check in.
Hmm.
But if you know my check-in is going to make you like question this next, mold of yourself that you're turning into, then yeah, I would understand why you would gravitate away from that.
But I think a lot of people really don't know who they are. I think a lot of people will sacrifice their integrity for a leg up. A lot of people will sacrifice everything that they worked for to get to a next level, a next hierarchy, to be that person that they always said that they wouldn't be. We see it all the time. And we can talk about the marriage aspect of it because a lot of people literally get married just as a social status. They don't even be in love. They just kind of do it because I'm supposed to do it. I buy a house because I'm supposed to do it. I work this job because
Honestly,
I'm supposed to do it.
you bring up the marriage piece, and I'm at a space in life where if I'm not like truly deeply in love with you, I'm not getting married based off a social construct. Like it
Mm.
may look good, it may sound good, even in corporate. The higher you go, most people are married with kids. Like it looks good on paper, but in real life, like there's just so many people that I know. And I was having this conversation with one of my friends where he was like, he finds it so weird how like a lot of women do say online, and it could just be like a trending topic because there are
Mhm.
always things that are trending and people just reshare, but it is relatable to them. So it's like when men are always spending more time with their homeboys than with their girlfriends. It's like, do you really like your girl? Because like most times when you are in a relationship, like you do want to do a lot of things together and build those relationships. And then you do have your friends and you spend time with them, but your most of your time is being spent with your partner for the most part. Like on a day to day, yes. Like but then you make time for your friends. If it's the opposite where like your friends always have to be the center of everything and then your partner is like trying to fit into that to me is not going to work because why is your partner struggling to fit into your friendship dynamic? I think they should be higher priority than your friends. That's just how I feel. But when it comes to marriage in particular, if I'm not like truly in that deep love, I'm not going to get married just because I don't want it to look good on paper. Like
Mhm.
I could really do this shit alone if I'm being honest. But I know for a fact like we do need each other as far as like that male and female connection or like whatever you're attracted to. You need that kind of connection. Cuz as a human like that connection and those different kinds of relationships that we build, like that is very important. So for me, it's like marriage is not necessarily the goal. Like if it happens, great, but I'm not fiending maybe as I once was at a younger age or different women in my life that I see who's like, I need to get married. I need to do this. Like, I don't know. It just looks different for me now that I'm older.
I have a coworker. and he's gay, and he has a straight woman roommate. Now these individuals have been roommates for years, right? They enjoy each other. They have so much fun with each other. They understand each other on levels where clearly they're best friends. So I asked him yesterday, I said, why don't you just marry her? And he goes, ew, why would I do that? And I said, why not?
He's gay.
It has nothing to do with a relationship. Y'all make
Marriage
the
does
most
have
sense.
everything to
It
do
has
with it.
nothing to do with a relationship. It's a partnership about building a family structure. It's a partnership about growing a lasting generation. You don't have to be in
You can
love,
have that connection without getting married too.
or you can get married and you can tie in assets. You can grow and you can establish bonds. You can even have the life that you desire as a single woman and a single gay guy to do what you see fit. Y'all both got a home that y'all already have a connection to, and you don't have to let anything else go. You don't have the same issues with jealousy. You don't have the same issues with wondering where you were last night.
So why not
You
just stay in that comfortable position then? Like I like in that situation, marriage doesn't make sense. Because the core value of marriage is to have that union between each other and that commitment to each other. And that usually, most times in the beginning of a marriage, does come from that loving, deep, intimate connection, and there's sex involved.
because that's what people tell us. You
No,
don't have
that's what it is. Like, that's
It's
what it
made
is.
up.
It's
Somebody
not.
made it up. It is made up. Somebody
That's
made it
what
up.
they do.
Put it
That's
in
what
the
people
book.
do, though. Like, you're not
Yeah,
gonna
if
get.
I tell you to do it.
How often do you get a married gay guy and a straight woman who knowingly get married? Like, the guy may turn out gay in the marriage because he's down low, and then the woman finds out after the fact.
And she should
But
stay well.
they're not going to willingly. A gay man and a straight woman are not going to willingly do that. They much rather just stay friends. What did they say when you said that?
Well, it was just him, and he said ill. Um, but I
Like, did
just
he agree?
no, he didn't agree. He didn't. He agrees with you. But I'm like, yo, it just makes the most sense for you. Like you're trying to find this forever love, and deep down, this is a forever love. You and your best
It
friend.
is a forever love, but it's a different level of because this goes back to like soulmates and twin flames and how people be thinking there's like one particular person for them.
It can still be.
It still can be. What I'm going to say is, I think there's different forms of it. I don't think all of that has to equate to someone of the opposite sex who you marry and have children with.
Mhm.
I don't think it has to always look like that. I think it can look like a best friend who you have that deep connection with, but that's literally what it is, a friendship.
You know, I watched the movie I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Hmm.
And I think that that was the greatest marriage story ever told in a movie because
I think it'd be delusional.
it was about two men who weren't even gay that was doing it on some bullshit, and then established like, yo, I really fuck with you. Yeah, we share a fake little just imaginary kiss to make it funny, but deep
I've
down,
seen the movie. I know the movie. I've seen it.
even that moment was just like, yo, I fuck with you heavy, bro. Now, am I gonna fuck with you? Literally, no. But we can do this. We can literally do this for life. I can live my life in my separate room. You can live your life in your separate room, and we can
It,
do this shit.
it was a movie for a reason.
All right.
It's not real. Would you do that right now?
Um, I would.
Okay.
If Rel came up to me and said, "Yo, my shit fucked up. I need some kind of stability, a roommate, a partner, and living life on some
He said we
straight
if he said we need to get married, you do your own thing, I'm gonna do my thing.
straight shit. Long as it ain't no maneuvering. Like as long as it's
You
100%
never know.
heterosexual.
There be some underlining, and that
I
was
don't
another
think.
thing the girlies was saying online. It's like the dudes who be spending a lot more time with their male
But that's not true.
friends, they you can't say that's not
I
true
can't say it. I'm a
on
guy.
occasions. You don't know because there's been videos too of like guys, like girls busting in, their guy friend is over and they be under the covers
Okay, I don't know nothing about that.
cuddling.
What I'm gonna say And please don't take this to heart. Men don't like y'all. Y'all are
I
dick.
have never experienced
Hold
that.
on.
Do not speak for me.
Men don't like a lot of women. Most women to men are dick deposits. That's all they are. Y'all don't have a common interest. We don't have fun together. I don't like the
I can't relate.
conversations you want to have.
I
I'm
can't.
just giving you a broad overview. We don't
I
like the
don't agree.
conversations. You don't have to agree. The history is in the results. You just
Who
talked about.
your
You
result?
literally brought this up. You said girlies are in the chats talking about the men don't like us,
Yeah,
and
I'm
they
saying
over there.
this is a collective from my research
Mhm.
of what they're saying. Like, what are you basing that off of?
The same collective research that you got. I have nothing but female friends, and I like women. I like the things that women provide from a conversational piece, the context, the comprehension. That we don't only get to talk about sports, that we can actually have conversations like you and me have. Like it's a reason that our connection is what it is, right? Every man don't have that connection with women, and some men just are incapable. They don't know how to have a non-sexual
Well,
relationship with a woman.
as a guy, with that being said,
Mm-hmm.
do you think this is a not you have to not be biased
I
because
will.
you just said you be having great relationships with women and
Mhm.
like you can have that connection. So, as a guy who is completely opposite of you, who cannot build those connections with women and he just enjoys spending more time with his male friends,
Mhm.
do you think there can be a level of like an intimate connection just because they cannot get that from the other sex? So they would rather say, yeah, I'm hanging out with my homeboys a lot of the times because, and there's another situation that I think of too that comes to mind as I talk about this, where someone I know, their friend, they like every girl that they have dated, they've treated like shit
Mhm.
to the point where it was given abusive.
Mhm.
And when it came to his guy friends, like he really prioritized his guy friends over women.
Mhm.
So even my friend, he was kind of questioning, like, damn, like, do he like us like that? Because just the pattern of how his dating history has been, the way he talks about women, the way he like really makes it apparent to have us in his life at over whoever he's dating, like it gives questionable. So
I
he
mean,
was asking me that. And I'm like, I don't really know your friends, so I don't know. So
I
what do
feel
you
like
think?
that's a conversation that he personally should have with that gentleman.
But
But
like outside of that, yeah, just the
to answer
overall.
your original question, I don't think it has anything to do with romance. I think it has everything to do with interest. If everything
Interest
that
can be
hold
intimate
on,
though,
I don't
right?
think it has anything to do with it because intimacy it deals with attraction.
Not always.
If I'm attracted to men, it don't I don't have to be interested in a man to be attracted to him. You get what I'm saying?
Intimacy can happen without the attraction too. Like you can be have
No,
intimate you can have intimate conversation with someone which is like deep down secrets and that is the intimacy.
I
Like
don't think
intimate
that's
doesn't
gonna.
automatically equal sex.
I don't. Well, we're talking about this level of I like a man because I'm always around a man. So we're gonna equate that to sex or some kind of sexual attraction, and I don't think that that correlates. I think based on me being non-biased here, I like what I like. My friend also likes what I like. So does my other friend. Most men that I know, they all bond from a similar reason. We all play sports together. We all were in history class together. We all were in debate club together. It's never like, yo, I just like you because you're a dope person. Very
Let
rarely
me
is
let me
that.
let me ask you a question based on what you just said. So if out of that friend group, if you had a friend who just always prioritized hanging out with the guys
Mhm.
over his woman, do you think that's questionable?
Well, I'll use me as a personal example. If not my situation, but I'm just saying from the conversation I've had, if it's reason for why he's always trying to hang out with us and not her because she might be annoying, She might be clingy. She might be this type of girl that's just
I
aggravating.
don't think that like should
But those
be
matter
there. It matters, but it's like, why are you with somebody who is all of those things that's
because
mattering?
you still like them.
My brain cannot wrap any sense around that because I am not going to commit myself to someone that I personally
Mhm.
think is annoying. Like, yeah, girls can say like
Well,
he's
meet women.
annoying. No, but I'm saying like we can say that, but we don't truly mean that to the core. Like,
Yes, they do.
I'm talking about me in
I'm
particular.
talking, but we're talking about men in this conversation, right?
And then we switched it to like your specific friend.
I'm just saying from the conversations that I have with a whole bunch of men and a whole bunch of women, most of the time, women are annoying and they annoy me, even as friends. But it's
I
like, yo, I
can't
fuck with you, so
imply,
I
I'm
understand.
saying like the partner that you choose to, and not like you have like different baby mothers and stuff like that. I'm saying someone that you truly commit to. You're
Mhm.
like, I want to be with this person. I want you in my life. I want you to be someone I'm building foundations with, memories with. Like this person in particular. If spending time with you truly annoys the shit out of me to the point where I have to prioritize my friends over you, I can't comprehend that because I'm not doing that. Like, I do think that is a weird ass
Mhm.
way to settle down. And like, now you're living this life that you don't want to live because deep down, the person that you've chosen is mad annoying. You cannot stand them.
Got to talk to the people and their choices. You remember what I said a couple pods ago about women and the men that they ended up with make better pussy decisions? Same thing applies to men. You got to make better decisions with who you choose. Because people do get stuck with wives and stuck with lives,
And
children,
now
friends,
you're
family.
answering the question exactly. Like the person that you choose, the
Hmm?
decision making, right? Like that's really what everything comes down to. Was my whole point. So
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
like
A roundabout way.
yeah, we literally just agreed, but just explained different ways to get to the same goalpost. So, all right, all right, we got 2 minutes left, so we are gonna do our happy hour moment. So,
Mhm.
Aaron, you go first with your happy hour moment.
Just want to give a shout out to
No,
everyone,
okay, go ahead. I think he was gonna say
to you.
somebody.
No, but this isn't about you this time. Sorry. I love you to death, but no.
I didn't want it to be.
Um, 1 in 36 children are born autistic every year. And I just want to give a shout out to all the autistic children, the parents. It's Autism Awareness Month.
It is.
And I've been watching Survivor, and it's actually an autistic character. I don't want to call her a character. That kind of sounds crazy, but a player on the show. And she just had like a super duper breakthrough on the show. Just inspiring for many families, many children, many people. You don't have to be autistic to experience the level of grit and determination and assistance that she was that was on display. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone, right? And I don't want to say this in a disparaging way because I don't want to say dealing with autism, right?
Mhm.
Everyone that is growing with autism, everyone that is aspiring with autism, everyone that's inspired with autism. Shout out to you. We see your work. We see what you're doing. To the parents, we see what y'all are doing. We commend you. Way to stick to it. Way to stick with them. And for anyone who discovers later along the line that they're autistic, whether we believe them or not, what's her name? The girl from
Amanda
Issa Rae
Seals.
show. Well, you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Amanda Seals.
Yeah. Whether we believe you or not, we understand that life ain't easy, and we here with you. We rocking with you. We riding with you. So shout out to everyone dealing with such a inspiring journey, and we right here with you, rocking.
Love that. Okay, so you did mention that April is Autism Awareness Month, and
Yes,
I'm actually doing a autism awareness walk on the 26th of this month.
that's a
So,
Saturday, right?
yes.
Okay.
hmm So I do want to highlight that. My happy hour moment goes to someone we've had on the podcast previously, Zalianne. If you guys remember, she was the children's author who at that time recently moved back to New Jersey from Florida just because of all the new laws putting being put in place in Florida when it came to education for children. And I want to highlight her because she reached out to us recently because she is hosting a mindset mixer in August. It's
Mhm.
called the Mixer All Inclusive Networking Brunch. And it's going to be in Newark from, um, it doesn't have the time. So I guess she's still working
I
out the
think it
time
was
for the
four
event.
o'clock.
The time it starts,
Yeah, I think it was
4 p.m.
4 p.m. to 9, if
It's a
I'm not
brunch.
mistaken.
Yeah, we'll figure out the
Mhm.
time, but nonetheless, so it's basically a brunch event, and it says bringing all women together from different backgrounds
And me.
and experiences, creating a space for all of us to connect and learn from each other and to gain new connections and resources to take our businesses and goals to the next level. So I believe this is the second one she's done up here. And I just think that's amazing because she started to post different hosts and speakers, and a few of them I follow. And I think it'd be a great networking event to just meet them in person and potentially have them on our podcast. And she reached out to us personally because she wants us to do a live podcasting conversation during her event. So we will be interviewing different entrepreneurs, potentially, like having conversations to have like new guests for us. So I just think it's amazing. It's very powerful, especially in this moment of where we're at as far as the economy and just the networking piece. I do think can go a long way because you don't know who that conversation and where it can lead to. That actually happened to me last Saturday. I went to a financial literacy event, and there was a financial advisor. He was talking about different ways you can make money in the market and leverage your business. So I ended up meeting a attorney who talks about like trust and wills, and me being the co-chair of the economic empowerment committee for the 100 Black Women Coalition. We were looking for an attorney to put on an event for trust and wills. So I was actually able to get her card and like secure that connection genuinely and in person so that I could potentially put on an event for our organization. So that's just an example of how like networking can just get you that connection that you can later leverage. So that is my happy hour moment.
Yeah, we just gonna have to get back to LinkedIn another day, y'all. I'm sorry because we really want to talk about
Next
LinkedIn.
week, because I got some thoughts on LinkedIn to the point
Mhm.
where I'm ready to delete it.
Mm. You'll be linked out, huh?
And I got about probably like 500 connections on there, all from past jobs and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But just to sum it all up, I just feel like LinkedIn is a facade. And I feel like it is a place where it's all about what you're posting, who you're posting, who stuff you're liking. Like it gives corporate social media, but to the point where it's like who you know, and that's who's looking at your profile. I kind of talked about it one of the podcast episodes ago where I was like, jobs will look at your LinkedIn profile. Don't yawn when I'm
I'm sorry,
talking.
I didn't do it on purpose. It was a long day. I
Okay.
get kids up in the morning. I'll be tired.
It's not me talking about this.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Yeah, let me sum it up. Let me sum it up. So yeah, like when it comes to LinkedIn, it's just like jobs looking at that and like judging you, and it's like, yo, fuck this LinkedIn profile. I could delete it today, and you would never know. But that's
Mhm.
like a requirement nowadays, which is just given entitlement and like weird ass like nepotism, and I just don't like it. So
I personally suggest always keeping an up to date LinkedIn. You never know who's looking at it. You might not get anything from it, but you might get that one call. I've had three of them, and they've all led to three completely different professionals, three completely different professions. just off of my LinkedIn alone. I don't know where they got my information from or who, but everybody has a different experience. So I always suggest give it a chance. You can leave it dormant. Just update yourself. You ain't gotta post nothing. You ain't gotta like nothing. You don't even have to connect with nobody. But keep yourself out there. You got to be in it to win it. So you
Uh,
never know.
yeah, and if you want to be in it to win it with us, hit up our Gmail at woawpod@gmail.com.
And with that being said,
We outside and we out, guys.